Communication includes LSRW skills, listening, speaking, reading, and writing. It could be in any of the languages. Okay, it could be English, Hindi, Kannada, Tamil, or any of the languages. So why should you read aloud? As I said, reading aloud enhances your pronunciation skills. Once you learn to read, you will be forever free. This is what Frederick Douglass opines. Once you learn to read, you will be forever free. See, he has told in the context when there was a lot of slavery, okay, a lot of financial constraints on the people. So here he meant that once you become educated, so you will be you will be free of all the problems that you face. So what is reading aloud? So it refers to instructional practice that cater to develop reading abilities of learners, incorporates variation in pitch, tone, pace, volume, fluency, and delivery, developing individual readership, adding personal touch. So why should you read aloud? One is instructional practice that cater to develop reading abilities of learners. So this is from the perspective of a teacher. If the teacher asks you to read aloud, the main purpose is to ensure that the learners or the students enhance their reading abilities. Then incorporates variation in pitch, tone, pace, volume, fluency, and delivery. So many times when you read a play, okay, you will get to know this impact. Okay, where to have a falling tone, raising tone, whether you should have a shorter pace or a faster pace, fluency and delivery also. Developing individual readership, adding personal touch. So I hope many of you read sufficient novels or other short stories also. So you will get to know only when you practice for yourself. Then what are the benefits of reading aloud? Comprehension strategy. See, many times there is a dispute. How should you study? Should you study without making any sounds, or should you study by reading aloud? Okay, if you read aloud, you will be using a lot of energy. Okay, you will be using your muscular energy related to mouth, okay, and ears. You will be spending a lot of energy when you read aloud. Okay, so there is differences of opinion. Some say instead of that you should read for yourself without making any noise. Then you can concentrate. So it all depends on the individual comfort level and in which category they establishing correct experience, developing universal concepts, foundation ideas. See why people ask suggest to read aloud is when you read aloud, your focus will be only on reading. You will be your mind will not be wavering on in different ways. If you read nearby places and then it disturbs you. But if you start reading aloud, you will not get disturbed by the surrounding environment. Think aloud, assimilation while reading. So read aloud refers to comprehension strategy. Think aloud, it refers to assimilation while reading. Means how do you assimilate various ideas when you are reading? Means for example, you are reading a particular text. Okay, let's say you're reading about air pollution. When you're reading about air pollution, your background information that you have in your mind, it could be, let's say you're aware of air pollution, the causes of air pollution and impacts, your personal experiences related to air pollution. So how are you going to assimilate your known knowledge with the unknown knowledge? That is important. That is what is called as think aloud. Establishes connection between unfamiliar text and prior knowledge. So unfamiliar text means the text that you are going to read as part of the syllabus, and prior knowledge means what experience or knowledge that you have related to the particular topic. Understanding and analyzing the social fabric enables learners to think critically and independently. Then reading a foreign language. Transfer reading skills from your native language. Split your time between focused reading and relaxed reading. Learn the accepted ways of speech production. So how are you going to read a foreign language? See, for English, though it is a foreign language for us, see the main difference, you should understand the difference between a second language and a foreign language. So in foreign language means what? You do not know anything. Let's say you just know only 1% of that language. We can't call English as a foreign language because we have studied this. We had English since our school days. Therefore, we can consider English as our second language. Let's say you are studying Spanish for the first time. Then transfer your reading skills from your native language. So whenever you try to learn a foreign language, you try to compare and contrast with your native language. Split your time between the focused reading and relaxed reading. What do you mean by focused reading? Focus reading, let's say you have grammar related to Spanish or some assignments related to Spanish, that is focus reading. And relaxed reading means it could be any linguistic pieces or language materials related to reading Spanish. So there is, in relaxed reading, there is no compulsion that you should know the summary of this or you should know the complete meaning of it. You just read it for relaxation. Then learn the accepted ways of speech pronunciation, because for anything to be standardized, for anything to be universal, there should be some standardization. Then what are the pointers? Why should you read aloud? So you may get this in MCQs. In order to enhance or build your vocabulary, to practice comprehension, greater exposure to literature, fluency modeling, easiest way to build all aspects of literacy. So these are the primary importance of reading aloud. Vocabulary building means when you start reading aloud, you get to know about the actual words. Otherwise, if you are not reading it aloud, you'll have hundreds of things in your mind, which in order to distract you. Comprehension, practice, understanding, greater exposure to literature. When you are reading aloud, you will be more focused when not reading aloud. Fluency modeling, you get to know. Many times what happens, we don't pronounce. We feel confident when we have read for ourselves, but when you are asked to speak in front of the gathering, you will find it difficult. Easiest way to build all aspects of literacy. Then reading aloud can be used to raise awareness of and provide practice in certain phonological aspects of English and certain strategies used to facilitate the production of spontaneous speech and communication. So the main purpose of reading aloud is to facilitate spontaneous